Next, we're going to move on to Google Ads and talk about Google Shopping campaigns within Google Ads. So this is a quick quote from Google that the campaigns can help promote your products by giving detailed information about what you're selling. And like I said, your product feed really powers these campaigns. So the quality of your data there is very important to a successful shopping campaign performance. So setting up your campaign. So it's pretty easy to get started once you have Merchant Center linked. You'll select that big blue button on the campaign tab and follow the links that you want your goal to be sales, and you'll pick shopping. Right then and there, Google asks, do you want it to be a smart shopping campaign? I really recommend starting with a standard shopping campaign. Smart shopping is usually fueled better by having a solid foundation of account data. So if you're just getting started, I would recommend doing a manual campaign first and then maybe experimenting with smart shopping down the road. So when you are setting up your campaign, my number one rule here, setting you up for success from the very beginning, is to get granular. This screenshot here is just showing you how you can subdivide everything in all product groups. So you can actually split all of your products into, it's kind of confusing because it's a little different than regular search campaigns. You can split a campaign into ad groups that can then be split further into product groups. If you have just a couple of hundred product groups or a manageable number, I would even suggest breaking everything out by single product groups. So you would actually subdivide everything by the item ID, like it's shown here in this screenshot. There's other ways to split everything up. If your core is sporting goods, but you also sell apparel, it's only 20% of your business. You may put all of your apparel into a separate campaign to make sure you're giving most of your budget to your core products. Other ways to divide it up, you could divide devices by putting a negative 100% bid adjustment to separate desktop and mobile. So for your desktop campaign, you divide you would put in a negative 100% bid adjustment on mobile to show only on desktop, and same for mobile, you would put that negative bid adjustment on desktop. So you could divide by devices. Another one of my favorite strategies is to really separate out searches based on how specific they're getting, because the more specific a search, probably the higher intent. So how to do this is to set up campaign priorities and then use negative keywords to separate those searches. Google Shopping is unique, and it has a priority system you can set of low, medium, or high priority. If you have several shopping campaigns, that dictates which ones would serve an ad first. And then you can use negative keywords to kind of separate by intent. So for example, to explain this better, if I had a user searching for running shoes, they're pretty upper funnel. They're still in their research phase, and they're looking pretty generally. They're just looking for running shoes. I would definitely bid differently on that type of search than say you're Nike and they actually searched Nike running shoes. So that is already showing a little bit more intent than just running shoes, because they have a brand in mind. They already know they want Nike. So if I was Nike, I would definitely want to bid more on someone looking for Nike running shoes versus just running shoes. And then say they get even more specific and they want Nike Flyknit women's running shoes. So they are putting a brand and a specific product in their search. So you can have, that's probably a sign of very high purchase intent. They already know what brand they want, they know what kind they want, and they're closer to a sale. They're much closer to purchasing, we think, at least, than someone that's looking for just running shoes. So that's just an example of thinking about the different types of intent that searches have. So definitely when you're setting this up, get granular. Another great thing to do within your shopping campaigns once you've started is try to experiment with different campaign and ad types. So traditionally, everything showed a single product ad. So that's what's highlighted here in this screenshot. It will show, just one product and all of the details there. I suggest also experimenting with showcase shopping ads that would show a multi-product ad. If you have any experience in Amazon, this is very similar to a sponsored brand type ad, where if someone is searching your brand, but maybe not specifically, you can put your best sellers there or show, a range of products so that you can really show your variety or different types of products that you sell. So showcase shopping is pretty similar to that, but definitely, experiment. That's kind of the core of digital marketing, is trying new things and experimenting and based on your data, making decisions. Also in beta, I wanted to point out, because this is definitely applicable to e-commerce, is automatic image extensions. If your account is eligible for this, you will see this in under ads. There's an extension setting within Google Ads, and this will be this bottom screenshot right here. Oops, sorry, I covered it up. This will show at the very top of that extensions if your account is in the beta, so you can turn these on. The only caveat here is Google is automatically picking these images to show with text ads. So these aren't actually going to show with shopping, but they would with search. But Google betas are always here, sometimes to stay, sometimes to stay, and sometimes they go away. So hopefully eventually we'll be able to pick these products, but I think that especially with e-commerce, an image is really important.